Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. And yeah, I am finally ready to give my thoughts on Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. Now, it's a bit difficult to judge this game because it depends from your perspective. If you're going to judge Bloodlines 2 from the point as a someone who has played the old games, who is familiar with the lore, who's looking for nostalgia, then you will be completely disappointed. Yes, this is a completely different game from one. It I'm gonna say like it is a game of its own, right? It's not exactly a role-playing game anymore. It's more like its own action-adventure game, a very minimalistic adventure action-adventure game, to be honest, right? But there is one good thing, right? Because the story I felt was quite solid. The voice acting was there. It was not too bad, but like it wasn't amazing, but it was it was sufficient enough, I would say. The story is what kind of like kept the game together. The rest of the city was quite empty. It was bland. The mission structures, the side mission structures were very repetitive, so I got really bored. So the only thing that kept me hooked to the game, which kept it interesting, was the main story. And if I could just do the main story, that is exactly what I'll do. The side story, none of them does anything to the game. It provides nothing. Hunting blood as a resources got boring really fast. It became very draggy, and you reached a point where it was very easy to obtain all the abilities of all the vampire clans, where you do not unless you're doing 100% trophy playthrough, you really do not need to do multiple playthroughs of the game. One playthrough is more than enough to kind of like satisfy all your needs, right? If you just want to get multiple endings, then yeah, you can do multiple playthroughs. But doing multiple playthroughs as different clan, like from different clan origin point of view, makes no sense, because it hardly makes a difference, in my opinion. um so yeah, um in 2019 we had kind of like alpha footage of what the game could have looked like. So I'm not exactly sure what went wrong at the time, perhaps because I think they were afraid that console hardwares were not able to support the game, something like that. But it is a bit sad because that game looked like it had a lot more stuff that was in uh, Bloodlines 1, which could have been brought over to 2. Because there's no inventory system, you just pick up some portions and that's it. Weapons were not there. You could use weapons, but you use your telekinetic powers to kind of like carry the weapon and then just shoot it once and then throw it. It's not like you can keep it on you. The progression system, like you didn't feel that progressive. One thing was enjoyable was the traversal system. The traversal and the combat was quite fast paced and very fluid. It really made you feel like a powerful vampire, because in the premise of the story, you are an elder, so you are a very powerful vampire. So it made you feel like a really powerful vampire. So yeah, the lack of weaponry, unable to use like even melee weapons, like it just, yeah, it was a very different game from what Bloodlines 1 was. Nostalgia was not there, but the satire, investigation, edgy goth punk tone is there. The mystery plot, a lot of people say the mystery plot is not good enough. I would say it is good, but I think they tried a little bit too hard to make it as, you know, as twisty as possible, because half the time when the biggest twist was revealed, it made no sense why the character did that. Like, not the very final twist, but in between twists, right? So yeah, it was like, kind of like a hit and miss there. But overall, the story was good. It was captivating enough to keep one glued to the game, at least until you finish it. Other than that, I was happy to get it over with, because like there was nothing else fun to do in the world. Yeah, that's it. I have to say, like, the AI is really bad, right? The human AI, the enemy AI. The Masquerade is pretty much a joke. Like they emphasize so much on maintaining the Masquerade, but you can breach it however many times you want and then run to the rooftops, hide, and get away with it. It just made no sense. There were like rare instances where like a vampire battle just spilled over to the streets, right? Like they were fighting in the alleyway, and then somehow you're able to drag them out into the streets, like, and they're fighting in the middle of the streets using all their supernatural abilities. The police gets involved, they shoot them down, they treat them like perps, and they're like perp down, and they just walk like nothing, everything is normal. It was just so confusing, and so funny at the same time to see how badly all that was made, right? They, like, you could just tell it was made in the most simplistic way as possible. It's like glue holding, bits and pieces together at that point. So yeah, in short, I think it's kind of like a solid 6, 7, right? um but yeah, I mean, like, it's not something that warrants multiple playthroughs. It doesn't have the RPGness of the first one, where you kind of like want to play multiple times, get different endings, play through different vampire clans, and see how it plays out. Yeah, you kind of like get the general picture what might happen depending on your actions. So yeah, it's, so if you're just in it for the story, good. If you're in it for the RPGness, if you're looking for Bloodlines, a proper sequel to Bloodlines 1, then I am sadly I then it is sad that that is not exactly what you're getting. You might as well just skip Bloodlines 2 at this point, because it is a completely different game. So yeah, there you guys have it, Bloodlines 2. If you guys have played it, do share your thoughts in the comments below. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next live stream or video. Till next time then, bye bye.